Also, it is absolutely pouring outside. I was trying to wait until it stopped raining to film this, but it's been raining for probably the last 3 or 4 hours, and so I don't know, it didn't seem like it was gonna stop anytime soon. So we're just going with it. I'm sure you can probably hear the rain, but oh well. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a very short and sweet video. I'm just doing my August wrap up and my September TBR, and if I'm being completely honest, I didn't read a ton this month, so I don't really have too much to talk about, but I am excited for some books that I want to read in September. But if you guys have any suggestions, any fall reads that you guys are really looking forward to, let me know in the comments, because I feel like I want to go book shopping fairly soon, so I'm kind of like making a little list of books that are on my radar to buy, and I feel like I could always use more suggestions. Let's just jump right into this video. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep it really short and sweet this week, but I only read 2 books this month, so I am just going to talk about them real quickly. So the first book I read was Fourth Wing, and I absolutely love this book. I am reading Iron Flame right now, but I had been avoiding a lot of fantasy books this summer just because I wasn't really in the mood for them. I really enjoyed this one. I'm excited for what is to come with this series. I'm excited to learn more about the world, more about like the actual like inner mechanisms of the Rider's Quadrant, and I don't know, I feel like this book was so much about just surviving the first year that I feel like they don't really teach the first years too much other than you have to survive. And so I am really looking forward to this. Like I said, I'm already reading Iron Flame right now, and I'm really enjoying that one so far. It was a little bit slow to get into, but I feel like this was the same way. Like, that's kind of a lot thrown at you, but it did jump into action fairly quickly with this one. It wasn't like half the book was explaining what was going on. It was like so much more, and I feel like it was probably less than halfway into the book and she'd already like gotten her dragons, and there was still more going on. I really enjoyed that about it. I really liked Rebecca Yarros's writing in this book, and like I said, I'm really excited to continue this series. I'm excited for Onyx Storm to come out in, I think, January. So I think overall rating for this book, I would give it maybe like a 4.25. Either like a 4.25, 4.5. Like, it wasn't quite a 5-star, but it was definitely more than a 4-star. So definitely way up there on the rankings, but I feel like it's always hard to rank a first book in a series a 5-star, just because I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of world building going on that it's hard to really become invested in the characters in book 1. But I don't know, I feel like this was the perfect book to start my like fall reading. I feel like, I don't know, just jumping back into fantasy worlds just makes me so ready for fall, and I don't know, I feel like I read the most fantasy books during this time of year. So then the other book that I read this month was The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This is just a fun little rom-com about 2 high school friends. He becomes a professional football player. She teaches ballet. She was supposed to be like a professional ballerina, and then she was in an accident and was like had to stop her career. She's secretly been pining after her best friend since they were kids. When she is drunk one night, she like rambles to a reporter that she's always loved him, so then they have to fake date. And I don't know, I think it was a lot of fun, and I don't know, Nathan, the main male character in here, seemed so sweet. He was like generous, but he wasn't like too overbearing or anything. And I'd read the rule book already. I read them out of order, and I liked this one a lot better than the rule book. So with the rule book, I was on the fence about Sarah Adams' writing. Some parts of it seem a little childish, like some of the like words and phrases she uses. But I really enjoyed this one, so I'm planning on picking up some more books by her in the future. And I like that they're all like relatively short and sweet. Like, it's not a romance that's like drug along for so long that you're like, okay, this is like too much of the same thing. I feel like this one was good. Also, this was a closed door romance, which I really appreciated because I don't love a ton of spice in my books. Like, I'll read books with spice, but I always say I don't want the spice to be the plot. I want there to be a real storyline, and just like if there's little sprinkles of spice in there, I'm fine with that, but I don't want it to outweigh the story. So I think overall I would rate this one like a 3.54 star. It wasn't like the best romance book, but it was fun, and it was a fun little, like, because it was football, I feel like it was another one that kind of was like starting me towards the path of fall books. And I don't know, I feel like this is another one that's kind of making me interested in sports romance. And I don't know, like I said, I feel like I'm leaning like above a 3.5, but definitely not above a 4, so maybe like a 3.75. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to settle with, because like I said, some of it was a little bit childish, but overall it was still a fun read. Moving on to the books that I want to read in September. I have just a couple of them here, and so it's not, I don't think it's too ambitious. There's 2 of them that I'm trying to decide between. I know that I'm probably not going to have a ton of time to read in September either, but I would still like to try to get through as many books as possible. So I have 4 books on my physical TBR right now. The first one is Iron Flame. Like I said, I'm already reading this. I am 109 pages in, so I'm hoping to finish this fairly early in the month. We'll see. I'm really enjoying it so far. Like I said, it's a little bit slow to get into, but now that I'm into the story, it's picking up the pace a little bit, and I'm excited to see what I think at the end of it, just because I feel like I've heard mixed reviews. So I am looking forward to this one. And then the next book that I know for sure I want to read is The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. This is the 3rd book in the Housemaid trilogy. I feel like I've talked about this book a few times, but I am actually going to get to it this month because, I don't know, I feel like fall is such a perfect like mystery thriller month, and I really want to read this book so I can finish this series. And I'm also going to be including this in my next like finishing series video, so it's just kind of all perfect timing for this book. I don't know, these ones are also really nice because the first 2 I think I read in the matter of a couple of days each. So like it's a very fast-paced, easy to read book, so I'm hoping I can do the same with this. I'll probably take this one back home with me and probably start reading it when I am traveling. And yeah, I hope I can fly through this one. The next 2 on my TBR, I'm trying to decide between the 2 of them. I don't know, I feel like each month I try to pick like a couple books from each genre so that I have like options to pick from no matter what like I'm in the mood for. So I already have a fantasy book, I already have like a mystery book, so the last are a couple of romance books that I am trying to decide between. The first one is Powerless by Elsie Silver. This is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Springs series, and I don't know, I'm trying to be really good about finishing series that I'm reading already, and I don't know, I enjoy her writing. The one downside I've always found with her books is I feel like they tend to be a bit longer than I feel like they need to be, so it takes me a little while to read them just because, I don't know, it's hard for me to get invested in a romance book the way I do a fantasy. Like I feel like a fantasy book, if it's longer, you kind of get to a point where like you get invested and like you can like fly through the book. I feel like I don't usually do that with romance books. That and her books tend to have a little bit of spice in them, and I don't love that. So sometimes they're a little bit hard for me to get into, but I always love the storyline behind it, so that's why I keep coming back for her books. And I don't know, I feel like hockey could be a fun one to read this fall, but I kind of go back and forth on if I want to read this now or if I would rather wait till like maybe like November or December, if I might enjoy it more then. And then option 2, which I think I'm leaning towards as of right now, is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I read Just for the Summer a few months ago because I didn't know it was a part of a series, and I don't know, I feel like I've heard lots of good things about both this one and Yours Truly, so I want to try to get to both of them pretty soon. I don't know, I feel like this is a different kind of small town compared to Powerless, and I feel like this is more the type of small town that I'm in the mood for right now. It's like a farm, she's a city girl, she I think is a surgeon who just wanted to like step out of the city life and moves to, I think it's her hometown, but then she meets the main male character. I don't know, I loved Just for the Summer. I loved the writing in that one, and so I'm excited to try another Abby Jimenez book because I feel like right now I'm kind of sitting not at the same place as I was with Sarah Adams. Like Sarah Adams I was kind of on the fence with, but with Abby Jimenez I read the first book, absolutely loved it, so I want to see if all of her books are ones that I really enjoy, if she could potentially be like, I haven't read all of Emily Henry's books. I've read 4 of her 5 like recent ones. I just haven't read Funny Story yet. And I don't know, I feel like she is kind of an auto-buy author for me, and I want to see if Abby Jimenez is going to be the same way. So I'm really excited to get to this book as well. And then the last book that I kind of have on my radar, I don't have a physical copy of, but like I said, I'm planning on a book haul fairly soon. I'm not sure if I'll do it like at the very end of the month because my birthday's at the start of October, so I might do my book shopping a little early. But I'm really interested in picking up The Prison Healer. I feel like I heard about it for a while and then it kind of like disappeared, and I don't know, it's just been on my mind. So I might add, like if I go book shopping before October, I might add some of those books onto my TBR. So I'm kind of keeping my TBR pretty short and sweet because I know I'm going to buy more books and have more options soon. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I was hoping to keep this one nice and short and sweet for you guys. And I don't know, I'm really excited for some of these books coming up. And I don't know, I love all the fall books. So like I said, if you have any recommendations for like what books you guys are reading this fall, please let me know, because I just want to like switch to such a comfy, cozy reading mood recently. And I don't know, I feel like now that September is pretty much here, that's just what I'm in the mood for. I'm just ready to dive right into fall. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. I post videos every single Friday, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.